This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for Wednesday, January the 4th, 2023. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Just got off the phone with Jennifer.
Jen,
we can't even call her Jennifer.
You can't.
I know I wanted to.
Jen Berezowski from Trenton. Grew up in Brighton, local girl, played hockey, and then started reffing. And what an incredible journey she is having.
She's going to go over to Sweden in a couple of days. She's going to fly out and referee the under-18 women's hockey championships.
Yes.
We have the World Juniors with the young men, young women now under-18 championship.
Sweden.
It's in Sweden. Guys got to go to Halifax. She's going to Sweden, one of 10 referees and the only Canadian in the tournament. Hear about what she has learned, or I want to put it a different way. I didn't put it this way, but again, I thought of it afterwards. Jen, as a player, what did you wish you knew then that you know now as a referee? And if she got some advice for young hockey players and volunteer coaches on dealing with referees that will help you get better, not just better calls, but you want to lower the animosity with referees, she's got some great advice.
We talked to her, too, about her goals. I don't want to say the purpose of reffing, because clearly she enjoys it. Both her and her husband do it.
Yeah.
But you don't really think, when we see these big events like the World Juniors, NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs, even other sports like baseball or football, the referees and the people making the calls tend to be in the back. They are in the background more so. So how do you get there? Mm-hmm. What's your end goal? Where do you want to be? And she mentioned the Olympics, and I thought, you don't think of the officials when you think of the Olympics. You think of the athletes,
right?
And how much work they've put in to get there. You don't think of everybody else who's there too, and what it may mean to them. And I thought, that's so interesting. I would never. Yeah. As I know many refs, I never think that's an aspiration for them, an option even. But it is.
You see them Saturday morning at the rink.
Yeah, it's just as much an opportunity or a goal for them as it would be the people that they oversee and make the calls on, which is kind of cool.
And she's graded, of course. They check out what referees are doing what. And I'd mentioned to you before that there was an umpire in the World Series this past season, just a couple of months ago, who called a perfect game.
Yeah.
And that was noted. They said of the 131 balls and strikes he called behind home plate, they go over all of them. He was 131 for 131. And you would think, well, aren't they always? I said, well, no, like 128 out of 131 would still be considered perfect. Those three borderline ones, So that's why that umpire got a World Series, because they knew going in, this guy's good anyway. And so we asked him, well, then what makes you so good that you get to go over? And she's a fascinating chat. And here we are talking about it, ruining tomorrow's podcast.
Because I think we both, after hanging up the phone with her, were like, wow, I think we both felt
somebody
it talking
so accomplished.
To her. And we are going to follow up with her, and I'm excited after she gets back to hear about the experience. Now, she said when she's over there, and again, I never even thought of this, but she said, you have your games that you got to do, and we're slotted in for so many, and there's so many going over. And her hope is to be part of that gold medal game.
That last game.
I thought, I never even thought of that. Of course.
The last day,
Yeah. You want to be on the ice the last day of play. You want to be the one who gets to do that. And we, again, think of the athletes, and we think of the coaches, and we think of the families. We don't think about the officials who are out there, too. How incredible. I'm excited for her. Yeah. Hearing about it shone a new light, a different perspective. We'll be watching for her, no question.
Yep.
Next week when she's there.
Don't be jawing at the referees if you want. She's got some great advice, young hockey players and coaches.
That's coming up tomorrow. We will share it all with you tomorrow.
Have that in there.
But what a cool chat. So great to speak with her.
This morning we were talking about, New Year's resolutions, of course.
And I liked how you changed it.
Because they said, well, that's kind of out with because the idea of the New Year's resolution always was, when we talked about the top 10 last week. So let's turn it on its ear then. So I want to be happier. No, that's not it. What would be a New Year's resolution?
I want to lose weight.
I want to lose weight. Okay, so that's your New Year's resolution.
That's your resolution.
But they said what you need to do is instead of making resolutions, you need to make intentions. So now I intend to lose weight. That's different than I want to lose weight. Well, I want to win the lottery. I want to have something great happen in my life. Do you intend to do anything about it?
Yes.
No. I just want it to happen. Different. So what are you going to do then to intend to lose weight? And then you would say, okay, well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop drinking pop. And that's a thing. But why are you drinking pop? Because you want to lose weight. Make it trackable. So then you can say, start easy. You say, okay, I've done this before when I wanted to cut down on the pop intake, is I'm not going to have any before noon. Don't throw up, listeners. Yes, there are times I'd go home at 10:30 and crack a can of Coke, and away we go. Okay, now I'm going to wait till noon. And then before I know it, it's 3 o'clock and I didn't have one yet. So now you can track it. Okay, well, wait a minute. I didn't just cut it out. You do it gradually because the intention is to lose weight. So as I began losing weight and felt good about it, it made it easier to not want it. So I didn't understand at the time what I was doing was intentions and not resolutions.
Absolutely. It's being more specific. It's specifically setting out the steps. And as you pointed out this morning too, and I can relate. And then it's not so overwhelming too. When you make general resolutions like I'm going to lose weight without any sort of plan or steps as to how you're going to do it, it can be very overwhelming. And that's when the hiccups happen and the missteps and the falling down, which people say too, if you can pick yourself back up, if you can turn that negative into a positive, that's important too.
Right.
It's okay. Accept the missteps, but get over it.
And then the other problem too is I want to lose weight. So you cut carbs, you cut fat, you
do it all at once.
Radically all of this stuff. Well, you
and that's
can't
not
possibly.
realistic.
No, you can't
that's
even
not realistic.
possibly do it. That's why they said, okay, I want to be happier. Okay, that's the resolution. What's the intention?
How are you going to do it?
I'm going to do one fun thing a week.
Yep.
So before you go to bed Sunday night, because everybody gets a Sunday night scaries.
Where's our happiness?
What am I going to do this week? I'm going to go to a movie.
That would make me happy.
I'm going to call a friend that I keep saying I'm going to go have lunch with. We're going to have lunch this week. I'm going, whatever. Like this, that's what I'm going to do this week. You zip off a text to your friends Sunday night. Let's get together this week. We'll talk tomorrow about the time. You feel good about it. Now you've done it. You've intended.
It's so funny that we talked about this morning because as I was getting up this morning, I like to scroll through and I look back at some of the memories on socials, like the ones that crop up on this day so many years ago.
Right.
And a couple of years ago, one of my resolutions was to save money. I wanted to save some. We were on to go on vacation. So I'm like, I'm going to save money this year so we can do it.
Good for you.
But the intention side of it just happened to be this chart of saving money for the year. And it broke it down. Every week, you put away some money.
Oh, yes.
So week 1 is $1. Week 2 is $2. Week 3, $3, and so on through the year until you get to 52. So you're putting away a little bit every week. And
till you get to about August.
it's like, whoa, okay, I just put away that much last week. Now I got to do this. So it does increase.
Right.
But seeing that took away the pressure and the stress because I looked at it, I thought, okay, this is more manageable. This is something that I could do and intentionally do. Maybe I don't do $36 this week, $37, $30. Maybe I don't do that, but it'll remind me to at least maybe put 20 in.
Sure.
Or 10 this week or whatever's available to me. But this is the day I need to put a couple of dollars away. And by the end of the year, that's your savings.
I've heard so many times about people. One buddy I knew, this was before Loonies and Toonies. That's how old I am. Is anytime he got a $2 bill, he put it away. He never spent a $2 bill.
He just put it away.
He always put it away. And then eventually he decided to look it up and he had about $1,800.
Yeah.
He just, never did it. And then I know people would say, okay, this year I'm never going to spend a toonie. If I get a toonie back in my change, it goes in the jar. How much have I got at the end of the year?
Yeah.
And there's your golf membership. There's your, whatever it is that you wanted that you thought, I don't have $800 for or whatever. We'll be amazed.
But that's the intention.
Put money away.
I know people who at the end of the week, whatever changes in their vehicle, goes in a jar. Doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
But whatever change they've accumulated through the week, change from a coffee, change from gas stations, whatever they've been out doing, whatever loose change they have, goes in a jar, start anew on Sunday, and see where you're at. And it can add up. So that is the intention.
Again, the intention. What is your plan of action?
Yes.
We all want to lose weight and feel better and live long and have more money. But what's the intention to make it happen?
And I do like that so much better because let's be honest, resolutions, how often, I forget what the percentage is. I'm sure it's there somewhere.
It's ridiculous.
Of how many are, how many work by the end of the year?
Yeah, not a lot.
Successful. How many are successful?
So as long as it's manageable, achievable, first of all, then manageable, and then
I think
trackable.
they're all achievable.
Yeah.
It's the manageable part. It's the part of breaking it down.
Don't make it too big.
No. And it doesn't. You don't have to go big or go home with your intentions. Just a little bit, as you said, with the pop will lead to
big changes.
Bigger resolutions and results.
So we talked about that smart. So hopefully, and text us and send something in on socials if you've got one that's worked for you, or if you've got some great ideas, we'll share them. I talked this morning about how you can't use the purple bag tags anymore. And listener said, "Yeah, but you can trade them in." I love our listeners.
Which is good to know.
That's great. Thank you.
Today also marked the anniversary of Billboard. The Billboard chart, which you loved when I came in and told you. See, some days
stuff.
I can do it. Some days I can surprise you, Mark.
No,
I can amaze.
Do that every day. Bring them in. Billboard magazine, because they said, I always think, again, I think Billboard magazine.
This is Billboard chart.
That's right. So it wasn't a magazine. When it started, there wasn't songs on the radio. That's how old it is. We think of Billboard magazine.
Well,
and
not
ranking
the way it is.
Exactly.
Because you would hear them on the radio because that was the only form of media at the time, but not like it is now, where it is charted and followed and obsessed about.
Casey Kasem wasn't ranking them.
Ryan Seacrest.
That's right, Ryan Seacrest. No, but Casey Kasem did it too.
Yes, he did.
Wasn't there in 1936, you said?
70 something, yeah. 1936 was the first Billboard chart released, and on this list, 4 songs.
4 songs. There are only 4 songs going on.
In 1936.
Tommy Dorsey Orchestra on there. Benny
Fred
Goodman,
Astaire.
Fred Astaire.
And Bing Crosby, #1 with Pennies from Heaven.
Yeah. So numero uno.
#1 song in 1936, according to Billboard. And they only went up to 10 songs right around 1944. And then in 1955 is when the 100 started. So there were enough songs to rank them 1 from 100 on Billboard.
I, as a music historian, I'll do my best to embellish the truth. And I'm going to say 1955 was legitimately the start of rock and roll. And so as a result, there were just so many musical artists getting involved in music, whereas before you never could, but radio stations were picking it up.
British Invasion time too?
No, it's a little British
early.
Invasion was 62 to 65.
Gotcha.
But here comes, we say, well, Elvis didn't come big till 57. Yeah, but he was performing in 55. And Buddy Holly was performing in 55, and country music was big in the early 50s.
It wasn't specific to a genre at this time.
Right.
It was all one.
So, baby boomers were about 13 years old. They started about 1942, and here they come. And radio stations. So Billboard decided not only was it going to be based on sales, that's when they started including radio play and sales. And here's another one, sheet music sales. That used to be a big one. What sheet music was selling that people could learn Pennies from Heaven on the piano. And that used to be ranked. And we think back like digital downloads. Hey, there was a time it was sheet music.
And speaking of downloads or streaming, The Weeknd.
Attaboy.
Now topping Spotify's most streamed song with Blinding Lights, 3.3 billion last year, over surpassing Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. He was the former title holder, and now just the two of them. Those are the only 2 songs that have garnered more than 3 billion streams on the platform, which is incredible. Yeah.
Can't believe it isn't Despacito. I just, for sure.
Gosh, stop with the Despacito. Were you really surprised, Blinding Lights? Because as you pointed out, as well, it was the twist that topped the charts for 90 weeks.
No, it had been on the Hot 100 for 90 weeks.
For 90 weeks.
No song had been on the charts longer than the twist until Blinding Lights.
By The Weeknd.
And I'm not even sure what number it's at. Or he may be 90 and the twist was 88. It was something like that.
But
so,
again, The Weeknd #1 now.
60-year-old song.
Yeah.
Held on to that record forever. And our disposable, the way life is now.
Yeah.
No, Blinding Lights hung around for like almost 2 years on the charts. For The Weeknd, good Canadian guy.
Exactly.
So that was pretty
impressive.
cool.
But it was on this day, 1936, that it all started with Billboard.
So that was good. What else did we talk about this morning? We did our throwback.
We did a throwback. Reminded folks of the hockey game tonight.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's going to be amazing. I'm going out to dinner with a girlfriend tonight.
No, you're not.
I am. So I should be home just in time for the third period.
So you're going at 3? Okay, we're going early.
We're going at 6:30. It's going to be a very quick dinner.
Gotta paint your face.
I see her all the time, so we don't need to sit around.
Yeah. Phones are out. How's Wayne on something like this? He okay?
Oh, he and the boys.
Yeah,
will be
they're talking about it today.
Yeah, we watched it the other night when the Bedard show continued and won over in overtime, and it was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. So it will be on tonight. Tomorrow, I'm a little worried. Because, of course, Canada is going to make it to the gold medal game.
Right, we're going to knock out the States.
We have our own hockey game going tomorrow night. So, again, it's going to be a mad dash home so we can watch it.
So what time's, is it Ben playing tomorrow night?
Ben's playing tomorrow.
What time?
Good question.
Whatever.
5:30 or 6?
Oh, no.
I know.
Yeah. You'll get updates on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a screen on somewhere in the arena.
There better be. Yeah. Are you kidding? Bunch of hockey parents? Yeah. We love our kids, and we'll be cheering for them, but our eyes will be diverted if there's a TV there somewhere.
So taking on the United States, we haven't played them in 2 years. We didn't get a chance to match up.
Yeah, I didn't realize
last year.
That we didn't meet up at some point. This is the game, though, I think
remember
most.
that game, too. It was 2-0 was the final score, and I went, yeah, it was 1-0 for the longest time, and then thinking we could tie it in the American. Did they score an empty netter? Something like that, and that was just, and that was, I think, in the medal round. That was a dashing in the medal round. Yeah, and so turn it around and bubble wrap Connor Bedard today. And can we talk about that just for a second? Because I know it's like, Connor Bedard.
Oh, that's all you heard the other night. Yeah. Bedard.
And I get he's generational, but
an
it's
amazing player. Not to take anything
absolutely.
away from him. He is a phenom. There's no question. He's incredible.
20 other guys on the team, though. And for them, it's as great. And some of them have also done some remarkable things this tournament. The amount of points they've gotten. I mean, when you score 11 against
And that's the frustrating
Austria.
part. I forget what game I was watching, and one of the other guys did score. Couldn't tell you who it is because all you heard was Bedard.
Yeah, got none other assists. So,
yeah. And I thought, give credit where it's due. Yes, Bedard is a superstar. No question. He's going to do amazing things. But here's another kid, and they are kids, who's playing his heart out, who's there wanting to win as well, and he gets a goal. Let him have the 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you can go back to Bedard.
Yeah. Say his name.
Yeah, just say his name
Say it was a great play.
and shine the light on him for a few seconds.
Instead of, he was lucky he was there because Bedard was great. Oh.
Yeah. And it's hard, I know, but it's.
Because you can't overstate how great Bedard is.
No.
It's going to take a full team effort because if I were the Americans, which I'm not, and I was good at hockey, which I'm not, and I wanted to borrow a football strategy, which you can't, I would put 3 guys on Bedard. I would let the Canadians go 2-on-1
that
all
doesn't
day
stop
and
him,
take a chance.
As we saw the other night, all 3 guys on him, and he was able to weave through them and get it on.
You got to try. You do. You got to spy on him, and your whole job is to look him in the eye. And I don't care if you fall down a couple of times because you bump into somebody else. Don't take your eye off them. Mm-hmm. And then, but it's a good thing we got 19
the other guys do need to be ready. That's right. They need to be ready.
Have to step up because we can't just ride his coattails like.
And that's I think what I find annoying in hockey in general. There is no I in team, and as good as one player can be, and you have them on every team. There's it's not that person. That person is not going to win this tournament. The team is. So even though it may be the Connor Bedard show, and he may be getting all these great plays and goals and records, and that's fantastic, these other guys, their job is to be ready because they are part of it too.
Yeah.
They have to be, and they are. So don't forget that.
And I don't know how many times in the finals or the bronze medal game, that was hard to even say, where a player who had done little throughout the tournament but kept themselves in the game, did whatever, only got 4.5 minutes of ice time, does something remarkable with 2 minutes to go in the gold medal game.
Yep.
And I can't remember the player who did that and scored the winning goal. And they said he'd only gotten 4 minutes a game of ice time.
Of the game.
But because it was the gold medal game and the lead guys were so baffed, they were
All
so
hands
winded.
on deck, yep.
It's like, just give us 30 seconds. Just go out and give us, like, we don't think you're going to cost us a game, but just give us 30 seconds. He went out in that 30 seconds, he scored the gold winning game.
Yeah.
The gold winning goal. And it's like, because these guys are good. That's why they're on the team.
And that's the other side of it, too. You play them too much, and they are going to get winded. And
That's
that's
right.
when mistakes
That's what
can happen.
happens. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a fine-edged sword. You got to play it. You got to be very, very careful.
So the cheaper chips and snacks is 3:30 today.
Yes.
With the Czech Republic and Sweden, the top-notch chips and dip.
6:30.
Ruffles and Hella Good Dip. That's the best of the best. Is 6:30 tonight.
Eastern
and then
time.
Canada shuts down. That's it. And don't even
They
bother
really will.
crossing the border from the United States because we don't like you. We'll like you again after 9:30, unless we'll still like you.
Because again, this is the semifinals. This isn't a medal game.
But still.
But this is the game.
Yeah.
This is the game
Here it
that
is.
we all want to watch and we're all going to love.
It's going to be so good. So we'll talk about that coming up tomorrow morning. What else we got? I'm trying my New Year's resolutions to find interest in things that I don't find interesting. So, your astrological sign.
Oh gosh, are we doing that tomorrow?
Can we do both of them tomorrow? That's too
we'll do
much.
both.
No, we'll do, because you're not here Friday.
I am not. So let's do both tomorrow. We
Okay.
can combine it because one is what makes you attractive.
Yeah.
According to your
Top
astrological
sex
sign.
trait. This is what.
They don't use sex. It's attractive,
they
right?
do.
What attracts people to you?
Yeah, I think it was sexual trait.
Oh.
And I was shocked that mine wasn't my swagger.
And then what you need to do more of in 2023.
That's right.
according
What
to
your New Year's resolution
Which
should
I
be.
laughed out loud when I saw my husband's.
Yeah, because he does it too much now anyway.
Yeah, so now he's got to do more. Really?
He's hardly home now.
Exactly.
Come on.
Which, you being you, I just find so funny because you usually poo-poo on these things.
Well,
so.
here's why I poo-poo it, Normie, because I think in the past, perhaps, maybe, some people took it seriously.
Oh.
You don't take it seriously, so then we
Well,
can
I
have
do
fun
to
with
a
it.
point.
Yeah. Okay.
I am going to argue
Yeah.
what we should do more of in 2023 because
True.
that to me is not, that's not accurate.
I don't remember what mine was. I immediately go to yours. What is it going to be? Oh, no. Not more of that. Oh, no.
See, and I forget mine because I was so hung up on my husband.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have some fun with that. Get your votes in for Throwback Thursday. Winning song is coming up. I Want a New Drug from Huey Lewis and the News' Team Mark.
And A New Day from Celine Dion.
Who's not a singer, according to Rolling Stone
Not one of the
magazine.
great ones. No.
So winning song there is coming up after the 8 o'clock news and plenty more as we run out of dates for the kids before they head back to school on Monday. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast, just click on the little bell or subscribe. We'll get it up to you by about 11 o'clock in the morning. And again, Jen on the show tomorrow to talk refereeing. Have yourself a fabulous Canada winning game today. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.